You can't hear me. Hey, welcome everybody to Attempts at Governance. We're on episode 268. Here to talk about Polkadot today. And we have an exciting proposal to start with. But before we get there, we're going to start with the state of the Treasury, which is looking actually pretty good this week, although we are down 180,000 DOT, which is worth $822.2 thousand at today's pumping values. That brings the Treasury to 28.17 million DOT. However, we're up 330,000 USDT to 4.09 million and up 430,000 USDC to 2.34 million. Why are we not down stablecoins as we usually are? Well, we're going to get an answer to that in Referenda gone by, but it rhymes with bojection, and we had a lot of those this week. But I did want to say, added to the Treasury pile this morning with a big return of Treasury funds, we returned 5,175 USDC to the Treasury from RFP number 1. This was the RFP we used to research the DOT Captain Step supply. We only ended up using $2,575 of it, sent the rest back to the Treasury, because that's how you do it. Hopefully we get some ROI on that spend. I don't know, but we'll have to see. So that's the state of the Treasury. We'll now throw it over to Limo for a look at rest gone by.
Thank you very much. And the first one, speaking of RFP number 1, this is by Jay. This is a Wish for Change Ref 1710. This was approved, and this is the hard pressure Captain Step supply schedule, beating out medium and soft pressure as I kind of expected, to be honest. And I believe the code is pretty much ready to go as far as I've been told.
Getting there. We had Dom on Open Dev telling us about it. Looking good.
Nice. Then, speaking of rejections, this is quite a big one. Pudgy X Mythical on the big spinner track ref 1705. This was rejected and it was for 2 million USDC for the Pudgy party. I was expecting them to come back with a change request or to like one of the bounties or something. Don't know if that happened, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Then we've got SR Labs on the big spinner track ref 1715. This was rejected as well. And I forgot to include how much this was for, but it's for dot fuzz, hardening Polkadot through tri-state invariance and fuzzing. See if they come back as well. SR Labs pretty good as far as I'm aware. Then we've got Ross and Yole on the medium spinner track ref 1703. This was quite surprisingly, in my opinion, rejected.
Ooh.
It was for 103,000 USDC for the Polkadot staking dashboard for September 2025 until March 2026. Kind of expected them to come back. I think a few people do use that. Then we've got Zoe on the medium spinner track ref 1717. This was rejected as well, and this was for 130,000 USDC for the Clarice AI OpenGov Data Backbone and Accountability Explorer. Then we've got Caesar on the small spinner track ref 1720. This was rejected as well. There's a few dot payments of like 120 dot or so for the consolidation of the Polkadot Americas community and its contributors. Then we've got Swen the Builder, ref 1716. This was rejected as well, and it was for 15,000 USDC and 7.6 thousand dot for Foundation Rapid DApp creation level 1. So see if they come back with level 1, 2, and 3 or whatever it is. Then we have Flez on the small spinner track ref 1706. This was rejected, and it was for 42,000 USDT as a retroactive request for the Polkadot.cloud website and branding. And finally, this is one of these Eastern European names that I am not going to pronounce properly.
Give it a shot.
Andrej or something like that. Small spender track ref 1712. This was rejected as well, and it was for 22,000 USDC for 4 months of .code school, which was funded previously, stewardship and improvements. And that, I think, are all the refs gone by this week.
Thank you very, very much, Limo. Now, we're having some trouble seeing the chat on screen, but want to welcome everybody here. I'm going to try to figure that out while we throw it to Funky for a look at the state of the funk. Oh, we can't hear you, although we see your lips moving.
Thanks so much, Jay.
Yes,
just in time. Actually, I had to mute because Aaron was using the blender in the background. I could see by your face.
I heard that.
Yeah. State of the Funk is congratulatory because I missed last week, but I wanted to give you, my friend, a huge congratulations. Welcome to the world of being married, and so really happy for you. I saw that. Of course, it made my heart go pitter-patter to finally see a picture of you guys. How could you not be bullish, right? I mean, I thought it was such a perfect intro, but really just wanted to say congratulations to you. And also just came off the RWA Summit in New York with our good friends at Centrifuge. That was an incredible time. And I just want to say to everybody in Web3, be bullish nonstop, because I'm telling you, TradFi is coming into this space in a massive, massive way. So really excited to be back on AAG. Excited for today's show, Jay. Thanks so much for allowing me to be here. I'll get the timer set up, and I have a new "You're at time."
Oh, looking forward to it.
James Brown.
Thanks for the kind words there, Funky, and it's nice to have you here, back at home. Saw you were at the gym, even on the road. Congratulations to you as well for that. We're gonna now get started with the title ref of the show. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ref 1752 by Mr. Jose Two Pebbles. Polkadot and New Ventures Acceleration Program, 108,000 USDT. Now, we're only a few days into this, not a lot of votes worth mentioning, but we're going to get a whole lowdown on it today. Funkatron has the timer just about ready. Jose, Marnie, welcome to the show. I think first time for you, and Virginia as well. Welcome, everybody. Guys, take it away. Okay. We see the screen, but we don't hear anything in case somebody's talking.
Now you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Well, good morning or night to all. This is my first time in the hot seat, so please don't be like me and just be gentle and nice, right? So this is Polkadot for New Ventures, ref number 1752. Go and vote. The reason that we are here is that we have an idea of how to bring Web2 business startups to Polkadot. Yes, we do. We know this will increase the user base and traffic to Polkadot, and believe by having a continuous stream of successful businesses using Polkadot, in turn, will attract more businesses by witnessing their success deploying the technology. Our idea started when I went to Web Summit Vancouver this summer. There, some patterns emerged. While I outlined the benefits of using the technology in their solutions, over and over and over again, really, their eyeballs pop out of their sockets. Can you really do that? I really know. Well, yes, you can. All startups recognize the huge advantages of using Web3 technologies. We realized then that startups were perfect place to start. They are innovators, risk-takers by nature, they are agile and hungry, and they have a blank page to build using Polkadot technology. Then we thought, if we can select high-potential startups with a good match to where Polkadot fits their business needs and help them build their businesses and the technology, we can accelerate adoption. And that is what brings us here to submit this proposal. We see also a huge opportunity for Polkadot to get some traction. New ventures in Polkadot already have access to funding, great education through the Blockchain Academy, access to service primitives by rollups, parachains, and bounties. The problem we see for lean startups, the ecosystem is complex, time-consuming, it's hard to navigate. We see this as an opportunity. Polkadot for New Ventures is the tour guide to the ecosystem and business coach, helping a startup find the right resources at the right moment so they can focus on building, scaling, and finally succeeding. Here are some shocking stats. What's exciting is that business accelerators can dramatically improve the success rates of the startups. You need to pay attention. This proposal introduces the Polkadot for New Ventures program, our solutions for accelerating adoption through startups. The program is structured in 2 stages, incubation and acceleration. Startup will become aware of the program through our marketing outreach campaigns. Getting the program, and by the end of the 16-week incubation program, only high-potential businesses will be selected for the acceleration part of the program, giving them access to dedicated mentors that will act as both startup business coaches and tour guides to the Polkadot ecosystem. This ensures the startups receive the support they need at every stage of growth. We will create a comprehensive plan for the incubator and the accelerator on phase 1. The cost, cheap if you ask, $108,000. I really wish you could have felt the excitement of the startups when they realized all that was possible with Polkadot. I just wish we had this program when I spoke with them. Thanks for the time, guys, and we are open for questions now.
All right. Sounds good. That was easy listening to, Jose. Thank you very much. Podcast listeners are going to appreciate that. So, we have any questions for the folks up here? It's a very interesting angle here, and a little bit of a gap for sure. I think that was well articulated. Let's hear from the panel. What do we think about this so far? Yes, James.
I mean, for me, any effort to try to bring more business onto Polkadot is a win, and I think these guys have a good track record. I'm sure they'd be willing to answer any questions for anybody else on the call, but for me, I'd say let's see what we can do.
Thank you.
Florentina from Nexus DAO.
Hi, thank you, Jose. Yes, I agree with James that definitely this is a good objective. I was wondering about the phase 1, discovery and design, and whether that should be in scope for this proposal, or if you should maybe start working on that first and then come for the phase 2 to open go. Not sure if you've thought about that.
Virginia or Marnie, you want to answer that?
I'll take it. I think our plan is that right now we're asking for the funds for phase one, which is the discovery and design. So really, I think Florentina, following exactly what you're suggesting, we want to really scope the incubator, the accelerator, how that can scale, put the real cost behind it, and then at that point come back and ask for the bigger commitment.
Yes, Limo.
Hey, so I have two questions. One's about like the money side, so I'll do that first. Do you guys have like an approx cost for like what phase 2 and 3 might be? Like roughly? Because previously we've had like milestone 1 for some stuff is low, and then they come with like milestone 3 and it's loads, just to set some expectations.
Yeah, so one of the things that we'll do is get better costs through the first phase, but I want Virginia to answer that because she actually ran one of the incubators associated with a large university in Vancouver. So she's got a lot of benchmarks about what might be appropriate. So go for it.
Yeah, so the biggest cost in an accelerator, if you're not doing a physical one, and we're proposing virtual because that's the way that it'll be most accessible, is the cost of the coaches and the mentoring and the experts. And in my experience, about a 12-week incubator would cost about $200,000 to run. And that's based on that you're having quite a bit of, and that would say be about 10 companies, and you're assuming that you've got one senior mentor attached to every one of those companies, and then you bring in experts on specialized things between Polkadot, finance, VCs, and you mitigate the cost a little bit by getting some people that do it on a volunteer basis.
Yeah, Limo.
Yeah, my second question is, so as far as I know, like Parity/Web3 Foundation are moving more towards like product and getting people into the ecosystem as well. Have you guys had any discussion with them? Because maybe there can be some like collaboration there and things like that as well.
I can take that. No, we haven't. We are starting conversations with the Web3 Foundation, first of all. We haven't approached Parity yet. We don't know the channels to approach them in that way. But yes, everyone will be involved. I mean, all this.
Oh,
Funky!
it is what it is. No, look, I think we got some
All
good
right,
questions
guys.
there here.
Thank
I'd like to
you.
have you guys come back again. I just want to make sure these numbers are correct. 544 hours, $108,000. That's almost $200 an hour. Is that right?
That's correct.
All righty, cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks very much for coming in, and we'll see how the votes respond to this information. Looking forward to more information if you guys want to come back next week.
Most definitely.
All right, very cool. Thank you very much, guys. Moving on,
Thanks for
we
the
have.
time, guys.
Yes, you're very welcome. You guys are. Yes. Now we're going to move on to 1748 sponsorship for active devs and community members during Polkadot Symbiosis in Buenos Aires. Already getting some great applications in here, I believe. Adrian, you're here to speak a little bit more about this today. We have 6.27 million on the aye side, 3.24 on the nay side, sitting at 66% and a quarter of the way through the decision period. Adrian, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Jay. Yeah, happy to be here for sure for second time. Yes, I mean, we have been having really great submissions on the VIA forum, so that's really great. We are actually crafting a really cool Notion page for all the submissions to be really transparent there. So please, any question on how to submit your proposal to the forum, kindly ask to our curators. And we have seen some feedback from DAO, love to you guys, about how we develop the selection. But then we have to say that there is no contributor or developer selected yet. The process is like super transparent, and you can see the rules published on the forum on the proposal. So it's everything there. You can check, and the submissions are directly on the forum, so you can check all the applications and then how we distribute the points to select the different people, right? So yeah, for sure, open to any feedback from the community. And yeah, I'm scared for that funky counter, so I'm gonna stop here if you have any question. Yeah.
So DAO's feedback was that they want to see the list of developers, but you're saying this is funding before the list is made, but you have a process to be transparent.
Yes, correct. You can see like the whole applications via the forum, so all developers that want to join and the community members that want to join. And on the proposal, you can check like how the points are distributed for the contributors and how they can like join to the Sub-Zero services sponsorship. Yeah.
All right, we got Limo.
Hey, so I think Chaos DAO abstain on this. I think I'm I.
Thank you.
I guess it's kind of similar to like the negative side of it, or the negative comments is similar to like reDAOs, right? Where I guess people are concerned that people will be selected with like friendship bias or something. I think one way to counter that would be for the previous times that we had this, maybe like show again like how people were scored and how it was like transparent, right? Because the selection, the points-based system is really good. People are just worried that maybe there'll be some other stuff. I'm not saying there will be, but I think that's the main thing. Like basically reDAO's feedback is the main point, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think that for this one, for this view, it's like super. I mean, we understand it for sure. That's why we selected like different curators from different regions. Like we have Patricia from Asia, Becca from Africa, me from like European, Michael from United States and Canada, and Lorena from like Latin America. So we have a bunch of really great curators. So we decide name 8 or 9 for each sponsorship. So it's like a super non-friendship stuff. So because if you have a friend, you can actually like say, hey, I vote A, but if the other ones vote nay, so that's the decision, right? I mean, it's like super like creator stuff. So yeah, there is no like friendship. And for sure, we will stay transparent and stay to non-friendships on the question, because at the end we want like everyone to have the same opportunities here. That's why we open to the whole world and created from different regions. Yeah.
A pretty diverse group of curators for sure. All right. Anybody else have another question for Adrian? My only concern is that if this doesn't pass, we definitely should find some way to fund certain people to get to Sub-Zero. I mean, especially people who are going to speak on stage, because the content that can generate and the excitement that can generate for the ecosystem is probably worth the flight. So anyway, I wish you guys luck here, and if not, I hope we can figure something out. But thanks very much, Adrian, for coming on. All the best. That's literally it for all the presentations we had this week, but we actually have a lot of action happening in the ecosystem, so we could take a quick look at a few refs on the go. And you know what? Maybe we'll go. Hey, Florentina. Oh, sorry, Florentina. Okay, I called you out there. My bad.
I'm so sorry.
What do you mean? What do you mean? We love to see you.
Yeah, but I don't.
Put it on. Put it on.
It's okay. You do not want to see me from the waist down right now. All right. We have a few refs on different tracks here. Let's check it out. Starting on the Wish for Change here. This Polkadot Community Foundation election and appointment of 2 DOT directors is doing really well. 80% in favor of this one, with 16 million on the I side. And this just started the decision period. I guess decision deposit was placed recently. Yeah, it was placed 4 days ago. So we have a long march to get this across the line here. Anybody on the panel interested in applying? Limo, you going for it?
No,
Okay.
I would be rejected as well, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I think anything that improves the comms from the PCF. I know like a few of us do have like some contacts with them. Like some of them have like wrote to me. I think I have the email of them as well. But just knowing what they're doing, like keeping the community up to date. Like for example, that centrifuge money getting returned. I know some people didn't like it, but that process maybe being like more transparent. Like, hey, we're doing this. Hey, this is like ready. The multi-sig thing's like ready to go. It's just getting signed. Even like, I don't know, shooting ideas at them and, having people like reply a bit quicker, maybe a bit more transparency on costs as well. That's obviously a big one. The OpenGov directors are going to have a lot on their plate, I think.
Yeah.
I reckon so.
Okay.
I reckon so. But yeah, we should elect the directors, I think, but we need to make sure they're like stand up people, and also the current bylaws. I think I think we can do a better job circulating them in the community. I think they are available somewhere, but I think every active token holder, active governance token holder, whatever, should review the bylaws to understand like how you can interact with the PCF currently. I think it's quite important, right? It's the kind of the main real world vehicle of the DAO.
Yeah, yeah. I like your call for better comms there too. Somebody who could open that up would be very valuable to us. Also, if it's not working, comms about that as well, right? This person represents the DAO side, so we could have some honest views over there as well. Jose.
So basically, this is the two directors in the Cayman Island Foundation. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Okay. And this is community. This is just two people from the community that represent the community. They
Yeah.
have, they are aware of what's going on community-wise, ecosystem-wise. Very
That's right.
important.
Yeah.
They should be really neutral and non-biased. I mean, they are basically a talking head and a communication head for the foundation. This is super important, in my opinion. This is the only voice we have here. So please, guys, let's vote.
Good call, Limo.
Yeah, I think there's 5 directors total. So there's 3 that are based in the Caymans. I think this is like how it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys are like really neutral, obviously. I think it's like autonomous projects or something. But yeah, 2 people from the community. I agree with Jose. This should be kind of as non-biased as possible. Probably I shouldn't be one like Jay was on about. But also we need to make sure that whoever it is, not a tax lawyer, legal person, but I'm assuming in certain jurisdictions, being a director of that company would be rather interesting for the government of that country. So probably if people do apply, we need to make sure that they have some level of confirmation that like their government can't do weird stuff to the foundation because the director's from that country or something. Yeah.
Either confirmation or massive balls. One or the other. Either will do.
Yeah, one of them. Because there is, it's not as bad as like, remember we were on stage at Sub-Zero Thailand, Jay,
yes.
And like the Cardano governance has like trigger pullers basically.
Yeah.
Like those trigger pullers actually, like they admitted one of them from Brazil had to leave Brazil because he was going to get arrested for being a Cardano trigger puller.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think it's maybe as bad as that, but that level of like, can people get in trouble? I think we want to make sure is avoided, right?
Very, very good. By the way, there's that other ref that was submitted by White Rabbit on the Wish for Change, which is also up. This is under the line right now, but as we heard last week, they both kind of seem compatible-ish. And yeah, it was just cool that White Rabbit put this up in the void. But lo and behold, something was coming down the line. Hey, on the root track right now, we still have that ref to DCA into USDT and USDC. Renewed chatter this week about dot payments, actually, which has been a little interesting. Limo, do you want to remind everybody why this change to paying in stables happened? Why we DCA into stables? You're always so good at saying it.
Yeah, when the Treasury pays products for products or services in DOT, which it needs to. I think we can all agree, probably block explorers, certain infrastructure, whatever we probably do need to pay for. If it pays in DOT, if the price of DOT goes up by the time the proponent receives it, then the Treasury overpays. If the price of DOT goes down, then they don't receive enough money to fulfill the product or service that they agreed to provide. So DCAing over time in stables is really good because they get the exact amount that they need. And why is it a DCA? It's because the price will get arbitraged back up. Like it's in such small clips, it doesn't really impact the chart. And even like a 1 cent difference, 2 cent difference does get arbitraged by bots. So it really doesn't impact the price. Again, the actual Treasury spending compared to things like stakers selling and some other stuff, it's really not a lot in the grand scheme of things. So I wouldn't worry about the DCA impacting the price, for example. Yeah. Not financial advice.
Sucks to lose out on that upside as the Treasury when the price is going up. And also sucks to pay out extra DOT when the price goes down and they come back begging for more. As so often happen. I can't imagine giving away super valuable DOT when we can avoid it. Especially when we turn it into stablecoins on our terms. Oh, speaking of which, did you see that Brian Chen opened up an RFC for the Polkadot dollar? You saw that?
I had murmurings of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, Brian Chen from Akala fame opened up an RFC to address this Polkadot stable-ish token that guy was talking about. But it's based on the, what was it, the Hamza protocol or whatever it was. This is a bit of ecosystem history, but there was a stablecoin back in the early days, four years ago, that unfortunately never got repegged, and it was related on the same protocol. Not that the protocol was flawed, but some parameters or something like that allowed some catastrophe that we still feel the reverberations of today, Limo.
Yeah, like I know a few people when they see/hear that, do you get like AUSD flashbacks? Obviously, a lot of people got burnt by that. I would say kind of regardless, Brian's a really great dev. Like
Yes, he
honestly,
is.
he's great.
Written a lot of the SDK.
Yeah, exactly. So any sort of like, oh my god, it's gonna be like AUSD, I would say there'll be a lot of eyes and people working on this anyway. So like the FUD's kind of unfounded. You know, I know like Brian and I know Betty Trent's left the Kala now, but whenever she posts, it's always like AUSD. I think we can do better. Like I posted like a few months ago, do better, don't spread unfounded FUD publicly. You know, this isn't like one person's gonna just ship it to prod. This is gonna be like a core part of the protocol, it sounds like. So I'm sure it will be heavily reviewed and tested and blah 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 blah, right?
No doubt about it. Hey, over on the big spender track, we have a couple of refs we're looking at. That DeFi infrastructure tooling bounty. Now, we are paying DOT out for this one. $1 million DOT, actually, which is pretty hefty. That's, what is that, 5% of the Treasury-ish? Or something like that out for the DeFi bounty. Now, bounties can only receive DOT tokens, so we can't pay stables in this particular case. Hopefully that changes in the near future. But Limo, you are a curator on this puppy. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so I know like for most bounties, events bounty, marketing bounty, meetups bounty, bridge bounty, everything, they would like stable coins. It's a pain to pay people out in DOT. Because again, if it slightly changes, you know, the multi-sig takes a day or two, then it's a nightmare. So definitely with the migration, this is gonna be a lot better. I would say that since the like decentralization that happened a few years ago, Velocity Labs has took like a really big like step forward and championing all this like integration stuff in the ecosystem. You can see on the ref they've got a lot of like CXs, on ramps, off ramps, some like infra stuff as well. Like it's been really really good. They mainly do lead the charge. The other curators, we provide our input, and you know quite often we do like get prices down. Been a few times where somebody comes and it's like, let's say 200k, and the curators / velocity are like, hey, actually we know of this past thing and it was like 125, maybe we can like get it down, right? I think it's needed. I think we all know that like we need Polkadot asset hub integration and USDT integration and stuff. That was a big focus. So yeah, I mean, I'm a curator, but I support this. I think it's good. And then we can see how we can evolve it with like the migration. And like I said earlier with Jose's ref, with like Parity and Web Free Foundation getting more involved in this as well. Maybe they, you know, help out as well. But I think it's a much needed thing, much like events bounty, marketing bounty, and a bunch of the other ones, right? RPC bounty, all that stuff I think's needed. And it saves a lot of overhead for OpenGov as well. Like if you remember all the RPC refs and all this, it's and you know there was no competition. Whereas with curators, they can like actually negotiate. It's not like it's this or nothing. It's like, hey, they give us like a quote. And we're like, it's a bit expensive. Let's lower it, right? And there is an integration that should be announced today with a DEX somewhere. Houdini swaps. So it's some private swaps on Polkadot as well. So they've integrated DOT, USDT, USDC on Polkadot Asset Hub. So you can bridge from like other networks, and you can even like routes it through like Monero. There's like an option for that, so you can get like private swaps into Polkadot. So it's pretty nice.
Wow, that's amazing. Cool. Jose?
No, I don't want to talk.
Fine, fair enough. Also on the big spender track, this is not a spend, but this was a ref to update the curation team for the Kusama Polkadot Bridge. bounty, and this is passing with about 100% support right now. And yeah, good for them. Over on the medium spender track, though, this is that troublesome track where we get those refs in between. What's the low end of that of the medium spender? Is it 10,000 and 100,000 or something like this? I think so. Or maybe it's 50,000, 100,000. Anyway, up to a million. Sorry, 100,000 to a million is what this track is, and this is the track that's going to be most affected by those enhancements, those OpenGov adjustments, I guess they're calling it. We're going to raise the participation bar here, so we'll actually have a lot fewer projects actually even making that threshold here. But just checking out what's going on over here. We have the Subwallet's second proposal. This is doing a lot better now with 9.73 million DOT on the I side for a reduced ask of $795,500. Subsquid is still struggling right now with their 164,000 request. And other than that, OpenSquare, we see they revoked their proposal to build out that fellowship app. They're going to put that under the fellowship treasury now. And also, PokeAssembly did the same thing at the same time. This is an interesting one that's preparing today. This is by the Laos project. We've covered them a lot on the Coos because it's very interesting. Their whole mission here was to make minting NFTs on Ethereum cheaper. And they initially had some kind of interesting governance stuff going on. We were covering it on the Monday show. But here they are coming to the Treasury asking for 40,000 DOT to build this Bitcoin Polkadot integration, basically to scale Bitcoin NFTs using Polkadot. So minting Bitcoin NFTs using Polkadot. We actually have a fellow who comes into our weekly Toronto meetups, and he is a big what do you call those things? What are those NFTs on Bitcoin called?
Ordinals?
Yeah. Yep, there you go. He's a big ordinals creator and whale. So he would be excited about this. And Bitcoin is often top of the charts for NFT volume. But this is kind of a pattern we see a lot where there's a project that launches, they're looking for product market fit or for funding, and then we see them a little bit down the road come to the Treasury and offer to build something, maybe like this. We've seen this happen many, many times. And yeah, Lima, what do you think?
Yes, it's obviously like a new ref, so I haven't dug into it too much. I would say there's probably questions around how much adoption this would get, right? Like, is it going to make a serious dent in transactions? And then UX, right? So how does it look? Is it like an extra 20 hurdles that people have to jump through? Is it better than just how it currently is? I think those things, if they're not already answered, again, I haven't read it in full. I've just skimmed it really quick. I think those are questions that need to be asked, right? To see if it's worth spending money on.
Yeah. I just want to say I like the team and I like the project here. But yeah, we see this sometimes. Jose, what do you think?
Yeah, I haven't looked at the proposal either. It's just new. I would like to see more functionality tied up to that. I mean, can through this project, can we give functionality through those NFTs in some way, right? Or are we just selling the JPEGs, right? We know where that will end, right? So, probably having more information about that would be great. And if they drop in AAG, that would be really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just reading here. I think it's still going to use the Laos chain. I think the Laos core. So they didn't need gigascale to actually move the needle on how much core time is being spent here. James?
Similar comments. I'm hoping they're going to come on and talk a little bit more about this because, again, new proposal, haven't had a lot of time to review everything. But if it's running on the Laos chain, that's one thing. If it's running on Polkadot core infrastructure, then I don't understand why it's not funded by W3F or Parity or some other bucket of funding. If it's going to be like a core good for everyone to use, but if it's their own product, then I want to better understand that.
Okay. Yeah, Florentina.
Just small comment. I have not had a chance to read the ref either, but it is a request in DOT, and I believe it's the identity is not yet set. So maybe just give them this little feedback to think about those things that maybe they are not aware of yet.
Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Good enough. Fair enough. Okay. Let's check out the small spender track here. So we had Shankar from Edgeware DAO on the show talking about their success with the Sker SR25519 thing. And they're looking for a little bit of funding for the work they did here, $37,440. And so far, not a lot of support here, but also not a lot of votes. So we can hear more about that later. The Dots came in with their proposal, doing pretty well off the top, but we'll have to see how this goes. Limo,
What was Shankar's ref number again?
that's 1751.
So I think there was something on this one.
Yeah.
So in his previous ref, I can't find the number, but it's called Development of at Noble Kev's SRT 5519 package by Paul Miller and Audit Sponsorship.
Yes.
It says Edgewater Stub DAO or Edgeware DAO or Edgeware contributors are not getting financially benefited by any means, and some people are like, they kind of said they wouldn't get financially incentivized, and then they're now here with asking for money for it. So some people are a bit like iffy on that point. That could be good to clarify.
Well, you're in luck,
Yeah.
Limo, because Shankar just came in through the waiting room, and he's here to
Oh, nice.
clarify that very point. Shankar, here he is, on his way. Nope, I think he left the other meeting. Oh, here he is, Shankar. Shankar, we're wondering about this claim that people are saying that the initial proposal mentioned that edge distributors would not be receiving any financial remunerance for this. What's the deal here?
Yeah, so when I mentioned that, right, in the initial development proposal,
Yeah.
that distributors will not be getting any funding from this whole allocation, that was specific to that amount. So in that development proposal, the whole amount actually went to the Paul Miller. There was a remaining amount. Actually, I guess we did return that, and I can also share the OG tracker link. They also like that we return the amount, and here we are. Like we didn't mention that we will never put a proposal to kind of like calculate the total amount that we contributed in terms of number of hours. So far, it's been like 1 year. So in this whole phase, we actually have like 3 sub-phases. First is initial discovery, then the development phase, then the auditing phase. So we kind of like played a role of curator in this whole phase, not like a bounty curator, but a curator for this whole process.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's the word on that. We'll have to see if those rumblers hear that and change their tune. Anything else you want to say, Shankar, while we have you here?
Nothing really. Actually, we got a lot of questions, and 0x Taylor, thanks to him, he asked a lot of questions. We replied to all of them. So
Nice.
far, looking forward to his response. Lenix has asked us for like taking a statement from Paul Miller, which we did today, and shared that on the Polka Assembly as well as in the Gustav.
Ah, cool. Ah, here it is, right here. Nice. Hi, Shankar. The proposal seems proper. Edge Distributor SubDAO ensure the development, audit, and everything else happens without hassle. Thank you for your effort. Greetings, Paul. Cool. All right. Thanks very much, Shankar. All
Thank you.
right. Let's keep looking at the this small spender track here because there's just a few more worth mentioning here. So yeah, I was talking about the dots there. And although they're working with Marketing Bounty in another capacity, I believe, their core development, their core content development, I personally think is very much worth funding. And so far, voters are agreeing with it there, but definitely a lot more votes to come in for them. Polka Watch. So this is the one that spurred all that discussion about dot payments this week. This is kind of on the line. There are a lot of DVs on the I side here, but Chaos DAO on the nay side. This is all over just shy of 10,000 dot. And definitely love this project. And I think they didn't realize the stablecoin thing, so they're kind of getting snared there, even though they do still have a lot of support. But now this has developed into a crazy conversation about changing what assets can be requested on which track and all this stuff like that. And I guess they spoke to somebody at the Web3 Foundation who said it was okay, and they're using that as an authority to speak for the whole DAO or something. It's very complex, but hopefully this all gets sorted out and PokeWatch continues its development here, because we do find it very useful actually, especially to watch the trend of decentralization among the validators in the ecosystem. It's very cool. Also, that retroactive funding for the Jam search tool, we had them on the show a few weeks ago. This is suffering greatly under 27 million dot on the nay side. That's for that 25,000 USDC. Really enjoyed that team and their approach to OpenGov here, but something about this one is just not working out. So hopefully we see something better from them in the future. One on the big tipper. This is a tip to Anna L for her work on the BDHR database and the publication of OpenGov HR methodology. People are definitely going to want to look into that and vote appropriately here. What do we have? Wow, we actually have a lot of votes already up on this. Let's dive into this proposal a little closer here. 3,570 USDC is the ask, and we have 16 million on the nay side, 5.2 million on the I side. So I don't know what's happening here. We can see what Red DAO said here. Our DAO members have recognized the team contributions to OpenGov and voted aye. So Red DAO's on the aye side here. Lenexus is nay. It should be a GitHub repo like just so that everyone can contribute to the database, at least for maintenance purposes. We don't understand the interest of this so far. It looks like a standalone work which will remain mostly unused. Okay, so two varying opinions there. Very, very interesting. And yeah, I think that's about it on all the tracks this week. Did anybody on the panel want to talk about anything before we look at refs that are confirming? Funkatron, any philosophical points?
I was just going to say that I am well behind on my voting. So as you were
Ooh.
saying this, and because I'm like literally 2 weeks behind, and so I just opened up Discord because I'm like, I got to go vote in Coos and Chaos DAO,
Yeah.
and I'm probably at least 10 refs behind or something. The good thing is we have time, and I will say this is just an interesting sidebar, Jay.
Yeah.
On Modern Market, we were talking about, the very contentious ref HIP3, I think it was, on Hyperliquid, where there was the stablecoin issuer. And one of the things I got to sort of talk about on Modern Market was that this just goes to show how Polkadot is a great decentralized governance system, because things are very transparent. 28 days, I know sometimes can frustrate the hell out of us, but it gives us plenty of time for deliberation, for having people come on and talk about what their prop is doing, the value it's going to offer to Polkadot, here the ecosystem coming on AAG. We have this kind of forum, because a lot of that seemed like it was just collusion among a very small centralized validator set. There's only, I think, 24 validators on Hyperliquid, and they just seem to have chosen native markets over Paxos. So it just made for a great philosophical conversation about governance, and another chance to sort of highlight what makes Polkadot so great when it comes to OpenGov.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Limo.
Yeah, hydration news. I think there's a ref to launch Sui in the Omnipool.
Oh.
I think the second OTC got filled before Ben could even tweet about it after the multi-sig got signed. So that was pretty good. I think I said it on Monday as well. Hydration's like number 7 TVL chain that there is. And I think Jakub Gregor's posted, I think it's the 4th largest TVL Aave fork that there is. And it's like Aave and then 2 Hyperliquid projects. And then I can't remember the one. Oh, then it's Hydration apparently. So going really well. Anyone that says DeFi on Polkadot is dead, or there's nothing to do on Polkadot, is a footer, or paid footer, as you would say, Jay.
Yes, certainly paid. I mean, why would you fund otherwise? This is confirming actually right now. Hydration is just on a tear. Honestly, it's like everything just gets chomped up. We have some big money moving in and out of Hydration right now. It is so cool. And what's this? This is the link to the Houdini swap.
Yeah, I spoke about this earlier. They've just posted it. So Houdini swap now supports Polkadot assets, so USDC, USDT, and DOT, and you can bridge from like various networks, and you can even do it through Monero, so you can not dox your bags for when you're going to vote nail on Funky's refs in OpenGov.
Wow. Okay. So is this usable today?
Yeah, I believe so.
Houdini swap. I'm gonna check this out. Hey, who knows? Maybe I want to move some stuff around without people knowing. You never know. How do we get into Houdini Swap here? We're just going to check it out. We go right here. HoudiniSwap.com. That's your ticket. And will we get started? Yeah, we'll get started here. Okay, so we can go from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Base, Arbitrum, XRP. Wow, we can go from all these chains, and then can we go into Polkadot? Or how does that work? I don't know.
So, Mike, because I looked before, I see Polkadot Dot, and then USDT, USDC, I think has a Polkadot Asset Hub logo somewhere.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's so cool. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, DeFi Bounty.
Thanks to Strin Bergman for getting these guys to come to the bounty as well.
How does he do
Big
it?
BD guy. I
Whoa.
don't know, he just knows everyone.
That is crazy. Thank you, Strand. Hey, speaking of privacy, I don't know if you guys saw, but the initial announcement, the first phase of speakers at Sub-Zero, did you guys check that out? Did you guys see that? What a colossal group here. Speaking of privacy, we have Flipchan here with the Kusama Shield. He's going to be on the sub stage. We have Zero Bit from Talisman, their whole new Talisman launch, and they just included Solana as well, which is pretty cool. So they're going to become a Solana wallet. We have Gustavo from Sunset Labs. So he's going to tell us, among many things, about that Paraguay deal. Remember that big Paraguay deal we heard about a few weeks ago? I don't know if it was an M for million or a B for billion, but it doesn't matter to me. Both pretty big. Nader from Eigen Labs, who I've shared the stage with a few times, he's going to be on the stage talking about the Eigen Cloud, Eigen Cloud, something like that. Look at this fellow, Jakob Panic from Hydration. I'm bugging him in Telegram. I say, like, what are you going to talk about? And he just says, it's a surprise. It's a surprise. So you're going to have to tune in to see that. We got Byte here. We got Arno. He's head of go-to-market at Dune. Bronimir from Origin Trail. Shayun from Hyperbridge. And Francesco from MetaMask. This is just the beginning of the announcements we're going to have at Sub-Zero. Going to be very cool. If you haven't already, book your tickets now because they're going to be a lot cheaper now than they will be in a month and a half. That's for sure. It's a bit of a journey away. So, yeah, what are you waiting for? I'd get onto that right now. Limo, still waiting for you to submit for your presentation.
You know, it was, Jay, we had to have a big meeting with Web0, make sure everything was going good, make sure we've got space to present all the bullish stuff that we're making in the ecosystem and see, you know, how we can do a presentation as well. I'm also going to be at the LabBitConf conference, which is about 2 weeks before. Lorena and a bunch of people there doing some cool stuff. I think there's going to be a nice Polkadot booth, bit of a Nova Wallet onboarding as well.
Wow,
it's going to be good. LATAM and especially Argentina's popping off in November.
Damn, yeah, it is going to be so cool. All right, anything else we want to talk about today? Nice show, everybody. Got a couple of confirming rests before we go. We got the Events Bounty top up for $500,000 DOT. Events Bounty. Oh, by the way, so Events Bounty has this program called Roots. Okay, and I've been trying to understand what Roots is for about 8 months, and I finally wrapped my head around it because we had an opportunity here in Toronto to gain 24/7 access to a slightly historic, crypto-historic space in Chinatown, downtown Toronto. Getting access to the space, what's the price in one of the most expensive cities on the planet? $1,500 a month, okay? Just shy of $2 million for a dedicated Polkadot branded crypto space in Toronto. And this is being funded for the rest of the year by Roots. So, yep. Thank you very much for Roots for helping us out with that. We're going to continue our meetups there, but also expand the programming to be a lot more useful to the local community, and then get them closer to Polkadot through creation of maybe a local DAO, maybe some voting in the in OpenGov with a little bit of a Discord bot. Who knows? Could happen. But this is now, as I understand it, the direction of Roots. It's kind of establishing local groups, getting them involved on chain and seeing what they can do for Polkadot. Just an experimental phase here, but we're part of it and we're very happy to be. So anyway, that's a note on Roots. If you have a local community, maybe you could get in contact, but looking like $500,000 more firepower for them. Limo, what do you think about that?
Oh, it's a different topic. Roots is cool though. We need more meetups. I think we spoke about this ages ago, right?
Yeah.
Like that you need to start small, get your community like grassroots going. I think you're one of the best examples of that with the Toronto meetup.
Well, thanks. We have a good team behind it, so it takes a few people, but you can start it by yourself. Just regularity, consistency. That's all that it takes. Consistency. Jose.
Yeah, I want to add something to this.
Yes.
I think they need to be a little more flexible. I agree with you with consistency, right?
Yeah.
But I was part of the program and I just got kicked out.
You just got kicked out
because
of
I went,
Roots?
yeah,
Why?
I went on holidays to Japan. Then I went to 2 different events. So I could, in 2 months I didn't do anything, right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
so what I did is they were like, "Well, give me the money back." I'm like, "But hey, I have 2 events that I haven't spent, and I have all the receipts there." Anyways, just to cut it short, I think we need more people in these programs. We don't need to pick people out, right? So let's just keep that in mind, guys.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, there you got both sides of Roots there, and I look forward to getting kicked out of Roots as well. I'll join you, and yeah, we can talk then. Okay. Thanks for sharing that though. Hey, also confirming this week's subscan Q4 to Q4 of 2024 to Q2 of 2025 funding proposal, basic service fee and development costs for Polkadot and West End ecosystems, 184.67 thousand USDT. This is confirming right now. Subscan. Used it this morning, use it almost every day. And yeah, we've talked a lot about competition here, but happy to fund Subscan as long as they're the only man standing. That's the show, everybody. Thanks for being here. Nice, juicy hour of open gov. Limo's got a little bit more.
Yeah, this was before the Roots thing.
Sorry.
Yeah. You spoke about like Discord bot stuff.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it on Monday. Look into how Nepal elected their interim PM through Discord. It's a really interesting story.
I missed that.
There was a bit of a revolution. There's a guy on YouTube called We Hate the Cold, and he was traveling through Nepal the exact time this revolution started, and he's got it like all vlogged. It's really cool, really interesting.
How?
And a lot of like Gen Z people like basically protested, kind of bent out of buildings and stuff, but only like the government ones. And then apparently elected the prime minister through Discord, which I thought was quite wild. Good story to look into.
How can you elect a prime minister through Discord? We can hardly keep the spam bots out of Kustau.
I don't know, but they did. But these like kind of countries with like a young demographic could be pretty interesting for like POP / like actual election voting on chain stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's the first time they've elected someone through like a chat program, so it's pretty interesting.
That is so cool. Okay, We Hate the Cold. I'm going to check that out. Jose.
Yeah, just following on the Nepal thing, right? Are you guys following what's going on in Venezuela? The U.S., well, let me just, summarize it for you. The U.S. Fourth Fleet, the Navy basically is in the Caribbean, and they're just hunting narco traffickers, right?
Oh, yeah.
As we know, basically Venezuela is being led by, a narco cartel, and they have basically dismembered the army, right? So they cannot defend the population, right? They have dismembered all the infrastructure, all the ministries, everything, and they are in their way out. In the moment that these guys leave, I'm moving back, boy. And I'm moving with Polkadot back. So I have the contacts. I can talk to Maria Corina. I can sell them into creating a governmental blockchain, basically infrastructure for the country. And we are getting there. I'm just waiting for it. So we all know.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's exciting. That's good. Good stuff. Oh, hey, I wanted to say real quick, I made a joke about the bots in Kustau, but honestly, for real, 0x Taylor set up a bot in there to keep out the bad guys, and it's actually working. It's pretty cool. We have this channel called Jail, and then I just collect all the assholes in there, and then I torment them a bit, and then I ban them. It's actually pretty cool. Okay, this is the show this week, and what a good one it was. Thanks to everybody who participated. You guys all make the show what it is. We will see you on Monday for AAG Kusama, but not before Space Monkey Sunday, where we speak to Tim Wu from ChainSafe. had him in the office here in Toronto, so wanted to check in with a guy who started in Web 2, quickly became an engineering lead in Web 3, and is now contributing to the core Polkadot SDK. Kind of an interesting discussion there. I do hope you check it out. And then, like I maybe mentioned on the Monday show, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a tour around the States next week, interviewing some of the original investors in Polkadot. Some of the guys who got their hands on Polkadot bags early on, want to check in on them and see how they're doing, especially in light of this capped and step supply. So we're going to do a little series there in collaboration with the Polkadot Capital Group, and it should be pretty cool. So do check it out. Until then, look out for the new show tomorrow, and have a great weekend, everybody.